Hi everyone, and welcome back to Charlie's Journey. If you are new here, I hope that you stay and subscribe. And for all my returning subscribers, thank you for your continued support. Guys, I'm steadily growing my subscriber count and I'm getting a few views, and it makes me happy because I know I keep going on, but it means a lot to me to just be able to help one person. I feel like I've already helped at least one person, so it's just great to me. Notes, as always, we need them. Today's video, I'm gonna get straight into it and talk about those early days, what that was like for me leaving the JW religion. And I think I was pretty lucky in the sense that, for myself anyway, after having told my family, my children, about the decision to leave the organisation, that was a very, very tough thing. Go and watch the video if you haven't already, if you don't know what I'm talking about. That was really, really tough. But thankfully, about a month and a half after I left, I started a new job. It was the first job I'd had after a number of years of being at home, doing the whole mum thing. And so it was exciting. It was something for me to actually look forward to. And it came at the right time. I needed that job because it was a good distraction for me, and it kept me busy. And I really enjoyed it. I got stuck straight in, and I feel like because it was the first time I'd had a job free from, that title of I'm a Jehovah's Witness, it was also fun for me, because prior to that, any job I'd had, I would never really make too much of an effort with my colleagues, because I was always encouraged by the organisation that you don't have close association, or you don't have close contact with your work colleagues. You preach to them, and you use your workplace as an opportunity for you to talk about the Bible with them and try and give them magazines at work and stuff. The same kind of thing that you would do if you knocked on their door. You try and do that at work, basically, on your lunch break or any opportunity. But you wouldn't go out for drinks with people at work. You wouldn't, go and have unnecessary, lunch, go and have lunch with people, and that kind of, you just wouldn't. And then obviously office parties and stuff like that, you definitely would never attend anything like that. I was excited that I would be able to get involved in those things, to actually have a work life rather than just going to work, trying to keep my colleagues at a distance, at arm's length, and just preach to them. But actually, get involved with things at work. So that was a little bit of joy for me amongst some difficult time. I made friends, and I almost felt a bit like a kid, as weird as that sounds. But your life is so sheltered when you're a Jehovah's Witness. You're so naive, and you're so sheltered from what real life is, that it's almost like you go into what they call the world, but you go into normal reality and you've got a little bit of arrested development, because there was stuff that I just wasn't aware of. I learned a whole load of different things that I just didn't know, and I was an adult. I am a big adult, but as I said, I'd lived a very naive, sheltered life up until that point. But I had fun. I'll just say that I had fun making friends. I had fun going out after work. I had fun living, just doing the normal thing, going out for lunches and attending birthday party, like, you know, work colleagues had birthday, not parties, but, you know, they would go out and do stuff for their birthdays, and I could go along. It was the first time I was able to enjoy those type of things. I went out for my own birthday a couple months after I left, and I enjoyed that. I enjoyed wearing what I wanted to wear. I enjoyed, these are the sad, silly things that I had never been able to do. I never had the freedom to do before. I enjoyed going out and having drinks. I enjoyed just getting to know people. I enjoyed not having my life dictated on a weekly basis. Like, my weekdays were now my weekdays. I didn't have to go to any religious meetings a couple times a week. If I wanted to go out for drinks after work, I could. On the weekends, I could, you know, I didn't have to get up in the morning on a Saturday. Oh my God. I still, do you know, it's not funny, but it is. Nearly 4 years later, I still get stupidly happy about the fact that I don't have to get up on a Saturday morning. I still get excited about the fact that Saturday mornings and Sunday mornings are my own. Like, you know, there's nothing, I remember, sorry, it's a bit of a side note, but it's not really, because it's part of it. I remember the first, so 2019 winter, it being so cold outside on a weekend, and my children would go to their father's house, as they do on the weekends, and I would wake up whatever time I wanted to wake up, obviously, and I just got a feeling of elation knowing I didn't have to get up and drag myself out there in the freezing cold to knock on people's doors who didn't really want to speak to me. I can't ever explain, and unless you're an ex-Jehovah's Witness, you will not get it, but I still revel in that. As I said, nearly 4 years later, I still revel in that. Not as much as I used to, but I do still catch myself on a Saturday thinking, yeah, what would I normally be doing on a Saturday morning? What would I normally, how many years did I have to get up and drag myself out there and make sure I was wrapped up warm enough to go knocking on doors, to face abuse and people just not interested. So my life was my own, but I thoroughly enjoyed my time, as I said, going out, learning new things. I felt like a teenager. That's who it was. I felt like a teenager again. I went out and, you know, got myself drunk. Not actually, let me not say drunk, because I don't like being drunk. Very tipsy. No, okay, I got drunk a couple times. She got drunk a couple times. Didn't really like it, but you know, I did it. I got to experience that. I got to experience, like I said, wearing whatever the hell I wanted to, doing what the hell I wanted to, and being around who I wanted to. And of course, don't get me wrong, like I mentioned, because of my naivety and being so sheltered growing up the way that I did, I encountered some not very nice people that obviously took advantage of the fact that I was so naive at my big age. And I would, you know, a good few times I was hurt and just made some mistakes along the way. I would never sit here and pretend that that wasn't the case. Of course it was, because I was an adult, learning as you would when you're a teenager. You know, you start to realize, okay, you shouldn't do this, shouldn't go there, shouldn't really, you know, believe this person, and, you know, be taken in by this situation or whatever. But it was all part of the process, and the fact is I don't regret any of it at all. As I said, I look back with fondness on those early days of my job and the fun I had. And my job was very easy. It was not a difficult job to do at all. And I chose that on purpose because of being a mum. I didn't want something that was going to be too taxing on my time, my attention, my energy, all the rest of it. I wanted to just have a job that I could go in, do it, and come home and be mum without, you know, pouring myself into work and then coming back and having nothing for my children. So I think that's why I also really enjoyed the job, because it was very easy to do, very busy, very, very, very busy, but again, loved it. And I needed it at the time. I needed to be distracted. I needed to be kept busy so that I wouldn't fall into depression over not having my family. Because best believe, when I wasn't at work, when I wasn't going out on the weekends, and when my children were with their dad, I had my times when I cried. I had my times when I felt extremely lonely. I had times when I missed my family, because weekends were the time I would go and spend with my family, or my sister would come and visit, or I'd be making arrangements to spend time with them. So there were still tears, there were still sitting there, just it was weird not being able to pick up my phone and call or text my sister or send her a voice note like I normally would. So in those moments where, as I said, I wasn't at work, I wasn't going out with friends, or wasn't with my children, it was still difficult. Yeah, there was a lot of tears and feelings of loneliness and abandonment. Abandonment was definitely a strong emotion that I was experiencing. But like I said, I'm glad that it worked out the way it did, that I got this job not long at all after I left, because everybody that was in my life at the time, I appreciated them. I appreciated them because I met some really nice people and I got to do some really, really nice things. And then lockdown happened. Then lockdown happened in March 2020. So I didn't have very much time of that whole going out thing and all the rest of it. And being with all my friends, because in my job, particularly at the time when lockdown happened, we closed down for, was it maybe a month or two? And then we returned again, I think maybe, so March, April. Yeah, I think we returned in either May, must have been May, yeah, because we returned for a little while and then we were off again for the summer. But yeah, I'll talk more about that, because I then entered into a new phase of my journey. But I just wanted to share something that was quite positive and quite nice for me, after having to deal with speaking to my family about everything. I got to have a bit of positivity in my life, so that was nice. Anyways, hope everyone's well. If you like this video, please like it, comment, and I leave my email in the description of all my videos. So please, if you do feel like you want to reach out and talk to me about anything, feel free to do so. And I release videos every Wednesday and Sunday, and I'll see you on the next one.